What's up, everybody? John McClain here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Wyld Gear mag bottle. Now, I got this from Tyler from Wyld Gear up in Bozeman, Montana, about a month, 2 months ago now, and I wanted to give it a try. And I'm going to tell you what I think about the bottle, what I like, what I don't like. Let's talk about some of the things that are very positive about it first. And on top of it retaining its temperature very well, you put ice in here, and you can leave it out in the sun for a whole round of golf. It'll still have ice in it. It keeps everything extremely cold. I'm sure it does it with hot too, but it's summer here in Missouri, and I'm not putting hot stuff in here. I don't even drink my coffee right now. So the insulation on it is very, very good at keeping hot things hot, I'm assuming, but it does really well keeping cold things cold. Okay. I like that it's got a rubber bottom here, just because I have had some other bottles like this that, clumsy me, I've dropped it and I've actually had them land at an angle on the bottom, and it actually created a bulge of the all metal bottoms. And so then when you go to try and set it down on like your table or something like that, it's always kind of crooked. And if you try and set it on something that's maybe an unstable platform, like a car hood or a log or something like that, it's almost like, okay, yeah, you have to position it only one way or else it falls over. So I like the fact that it's got the rubber bottom, because I have dropped this a couple times and the bottom's still flat. Okay. The other thing I really like about this bottle is actually the carry handle. It looks a little different, but it makes it really, really easy to carry. You can carry it in multiple different configurations, I guess, with your hand and whatnot. It's also big enough that you can throw a decent sized carabiner on here, so you can just throw it on your pack or whatnot. And what I found actually is that it was very useful being able to change how my fingers were going through the bottle to carry it with me when I had like 2 fishing poles and a tackle box and a bucket that was also kind of like a cooler, for fish and stuff. And just having the ability to like grab it differently depending on how the rods and reels were fitting in my hand was actually very nice. Now, there's a couple things about this bottle that I've had issues with, and I'll tell you that the first one is, okay, both of these are probably a little bit on me, but the selling point of this bottle, and why it's called the mag bottle, is the cap and the magnets that go on the back of the carry handle. It's a cool feature, don't get me wrong, it works, but the problem that I've experienced is that me and my clumsy moments, especially when I'm wearing gloves and stuff like that, have done that. And while I haven't been up in a tree stand, because it's not deer season, if I did that in a tree stand, I'd be a little upset at myself. But I would love to see this cap tethered in some way, so that if that happens, I don't have to climb out of my deer tree stand or try and remember where it fell, so that after I'm done sitting in my stand, then I go downstairs or down my tree, and I have to try and remember where exactly I saw this thing land. So I'd love to see this tethered in some way, because even that can get bumped off like that. So again, I'm sure that's probably just me being very, very nitpicky. Now, the other thing about this bottle, and this is probably with any other bottle out there, minus the other ones that I've had where they were kind of like the straw setups. So they've got a straw that goes down into it, and the thing, the mouthpiece folds up. Is I'm not a huge ice fan. I do like cold drinks when I'm really, really hot, but I'm just not a huge fan of ice. I hate chewing on it. I hate how it feels like on my teeth and stuff. Like my teeth are fairly sensitive. They freeze quickly. I get a lot of pain and whatnot. I know it's probably a dental thing. That's thanks to my parents. But yeah, it's just when you have the little chunks of ice that you get from like Sonic or some fast food restaurants or whatever, or even some hotels, and that's where I experienced it, was I had like the really small bits of ice go in here. And when I was thirsty and I just wanted to chug some drink, I turned off the cap, flipped it up, and I immediately started getting pelted in my uvula with ice chunks. And that kind of sucked. To be so thirsty and yet to be choking on the thing you're drinking to try and hydrate yourself, but it's the frozen form. That sucks. So I would almost even like to see an option of like a filter system or something like that to help keep ice from just shooting down your throat. Like if I wanted ice, I could unscrew the top and chunk the ice into my mouth, but I don't. I want pure liquid when I'm thirsty, and almost dying by way of frozen H2O was not enjoyable. So those are, I think in reality, those are the only two things that I see as a downside to the Wyld Gear mag bottle. This is the 34 ounce size. They do have some other sizes here. This actually, for the price too, good insulation, good solid rubber bottom, nice carry handle. You know, you got the option of attaching the cap to the back through the magnet and whatnot, but for the 34 ounce mag bottle is $34.99. So the price is very, very good. They make an 18 ounce, a 24 ounce, and a 44 ounce as well. So, you know, you've got some options in size and whatnot. I think the 34 is pretty solid for me and what I do, like when I've gone out and worked on property stuff or whatever. It pretty much gets me through the process and then on the ride back home. But yeah, I mean, if you want to give them a try, it's Wyld Gear, W-Y-L-D Gear, and this is the mag bottle from Wyld Gear. So it is a very good bottle, guys. Don't get me wrong. It does what it's supposed to do. The few things that I didn't necessarily like about it, I guess, you know, like I said, that's kind of like me. If you're clumsy, especially with gloved hands in the cold or anything like that, is what I can imagine, that might not just be the best way to retain the lid. That almost messed up. See, that's how clumsy I am. I need help, and a tether or something like that would help me greatly on this. So anyway, that's the Wyld Gear mag bottle. I'm John McClain. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know if there's anything else you guys are interested in seeing or finding out about. Yeah.